Hello, 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 friends. Hello, hello, friends. So today we are discussing about the brief overview of the Information Technology Act 2000. As far as we are all aware about, the India is moving now to digital India. So where we are moving from the to the digital India, we are becomes a technocrat country. So as far as we are technologically advanced, naturally, as far as the computer can be used as a one tool or as a one we mention as a catalyst, as a one organ, as a one instrument for using the digital infrastructures are concerned. So to control and to prevent the cyber crimes are concerned as far as India is concerned, the Indian government passed the Information Technology Act 2000. Before before proceeding towards the ITAC 2000, just simply try to understand what is their historical background, or we can say on which model law the Information Technology Acts are based. So there is a one international law we mentioned as a model law on e-commerce, that is known as a United Nations Commission on International Trade Law. So on this international trade law, our today's present enactment, that is our Information Technology Act 2000s are based. So this shortly we mention this United Nations Commission on International Trade Law as a unnatural model law on e-commerce. So this law is basically based on your e-commerce. E-commerce in the sense electronic commerce, in the sense your electronic transactions. So that's why this whole Information Technology Act 2000 are based on unnatural model law on e-commerce, which where these model law on e-commerce are passed in the General Assembly of the United Nations Commission in 1999. Immediately after passing this unnatural model law, Indian government take the records, take the reference of this model law on e-commerce, and we passed on 17th October 2000 Information Technology Act 2000. If you observe the objectives of this act, why this act is enacted, it clearly mentions the main objectives of the IT Act 2000s are to give the legal recognition of all electronic transactions. They use the word electronic data interchange. If you see the preamble, if you see the objectives of the ITAC 2000, it clearly mentions the main objective is nothing but to give the legal sanctity or to give the legal recognition of all the electronic mode of transaction, all the electronic data interchange. It means that they want to legally recognize whatever the transactions are there, electronic transactions are there, they are legally valid and authentic. If you proceed further, the next objectives they mention as legal recognition of digital signature. Now they use the word digital signature. Digital signatures are we mention simply as like your physical handwritten signature, but it replaced the handwritten signatures with digital signatures, where in the digital signatures asymmetric cryptographic systems are used. So the ITAC also highlighted about the digital signature, that is to authenticate any document, any papers, they use digital signature, and when any persons can digitally sign that instrument in the sense document, that document becomes an authentic, that authenticates, that document can be admitted. as a foolproof, as an evidence. So the IT Act also mentioned the objectives of legal recognition of the digital signature. As far as the digital signatures are concerned, the separate chapters can be added in the ITAC. Some sections can be devoted fully to digital signatures, how to create digital signature, which kind of the systems can be used for creation of the digital signatures are concerned, what are the advantages and disadvantages of this digital signature. The main advantage of digital signatures are very simple: to authenticate any kind of electronic instrument, electronic record, that digital signatures can be used as an evidence. So that's why this, to give legal sanctity, to give legal backing, to give the authenticity of these electronic record, of these electronic transactions, the ITAD given the more backing of these digital signatures are concerned. If you observe the another objectives are concerned, the IT Act also mentioned some authorities under the Act. That authorities such as certifying authority, then controller of certifying authority, adjudicating officers, then your cyber regulation appellate tribunal or cyber tribunal, simply we mention it. These are some different authorities are created under the IT Act. If you observe, the controller of the certifying authority under the ITAX are concerned, the main function of the controller is to give or to issue the license to the certifying authority, for giving a license to give the permission. Now, from this day onwards, these CAs, that is certifying authorities, can use the digital signatures for the subscribers. And certifying authority we mention as a any person, any institutions, they certify all the records of the subscribers, and they are actually the institution or the person who issue the digital signature certificates. We simply mention DSC to the subscribers. So these three, controller, then certifying authority, and the subscriber. These three are the more important authorities under the IT Act. Subscriber means any individual person, either that person is a any single person, individual person, any Hindu undivided family, any company, any organization, any institutions who can apply for getting the digital signature certificates to certifying authority, and only licensed certifying authorities can issue the digital signature certificate at DSC to the subscribers. Apart from these controller and certifying authorities, Cyber Tribunal also established under the ITEC 2000. The one whole chapters can be given to the cyber tribunals. So whenever any crimes can be committed under the Information Technology Act 2000 are concerned, cyber tribunal is the remedy. So the cyber tribunal also has some chairman, vice chairman, and some other members on the panels who decide the disputes about the cyber crimes are concerned, and they solve the disputes. We will see the latter parts in the next module, detail about the cyber tribunals are concerned. To simply mention, the ITAC's main objectives are establishment of a justice delivery mechanism, and the cyber tribunal is also one of the one more as a justice dispensation mechanism or justice delivery mechanisms are concerned. As far as the most important chapter in this IT Act, or we mention on the IT Act is focused as the cyber offenses and penalties. If you observe the IT Act, it consists of basically in 94 sections. Out of that 94 sections, section 91 to section 94 are the amendments in various laws, various other laws, such as IT Act is passed in 17 October 2000. Immediately after, some laws, including criminal laws, brought some amendments. For example, your Indian Evidence Act 1872, Reserve Bank of India Act 1934, Bankers Books of Evidence Act 1891. So Indian Penal Code. These are the certain laws which give more amendments in their respective enactments. So Section 91 to Section 94, these four sections can make some amendments in their respective enactments by the IT Act. In Section 90, this whole IT Act is divided. Out of that, from section 65 onwards till section 72A till section 75, cyber offenses and penalties are mentioned. Cyber offenses means very simple, the offenses which are committed by any criminal by using computer as a one tool, one target, one instrument, one as a catalyst to damage any property which is related to the computers, to conceal some data, or to make some alteration, changes, destructions in the computer. So that maybe comes under the cyber crimes. So computers are nothing but not only desktop computer. If you observe the definition of a computer in the ITAC 2000 are concerned, very clearly mentioned. Now computer includes your smartphones. It includes any devices which perform your logical and arithmetical functions, manipulations. So that's why when your any persons can commit a crime using your smartphones are concerned, it becomes a cyber crime. It becomes a cyber offense. So that's why Section 65 onwards till Section 75 are concerned only discussed about the cyber offenses and their respective penalties or punishments are concerned. Offenses are such as like tampering of computer source documents are concerned. They are mentioned in Section 65. Section 66 is a famously known as a hacking section. In Section 66, again, the Section 66 is categorized into Section 66 capital A, B, C, D, E, F, till F. They can be amended in 2008 are concerned. Then these cyber offenses like sending any offensive messages or any cyber pornography are concerned, child pornography are concerned, which is today a great menace to the whole world. That also covered under Section 67A and B's are concerned. As far as your cyber terrorisms are concerned, Section 66 capital F is there. So the whole one chapter over the ITACs are covered the cyber offenses and penalties. So this act also covers overall nation a lot of about the regulation of your electronic transactions. More about it talks about e-governance mechanism also. In the e-governance mechanisms means to maintain the transparency in the government administration, and as far as all the peoples get the benefits of the government at their doorsteps, e-governance is the best solution. And to this idea legally permit that e-governance. Number of states launch e-governance mechanism. For example, that the persuades, we do know that the village peoples require sometimes 712 extract. So these 712 extract can be get online on their computers, on their laptops, on their smartphones only by one click. So all the government benefits, all the government facilities can be easily available at their doorsteps. This is the e-governance mechanisms. Online educations, online exams. This is possible only due to the e-governance projects. If you see the other states like Kerala, like Tamil Nadu, like Visakhapatnam, they also launch various e-governance mechanism projects that also legally permit and some provisions can be added in the IChat about the e-governance as a one mode to maintain the transparency in the administrations are concerned. As far as the Maharashtra government's automation the India is concerned, we already launched a national e-governance policy where we are in the process to get the maximum benefits, government benefits can be available only on one click at the doorsteps of all the peoples without physically visiting the particular government places or government offices. So this is also mentioned in the ITAC as a legally permissible acts of concern. So e-governance mechanism, then regulation of your certifying authorities are concerned, then your digital signatures are concerned, then your cyber offenses and penalties are concerned. There's a whole talks about the Information Technology Act 2000. But I mentioned one thing here that as far as the ITACs are concerned, still I mentioned this act is lacking somewhere to control the cyber menace, cyber crimes because we are moving towards a digital world. But as far as the India is progressing towards a digital world, quite natural that the cyber crimes, on the other hand, are increasing day by day, which is very hard to control because even there's no any particular age to control the to do the cyber crimes are concerned. Any persons from teenage to the adult persons can do a cyber crimes. But as far as ITACs are concerned, they are very less sufficient to control, I mentioned, to prevent to some extent these cyber crimes are concerned. So there is a dire need, I can say, to uh, make some changes, make some amendments in the IT Act 2000s are concerned that will be covered like new crimes are concerned, like such as your intellectual property related crimes, like IPR in cyberspace implementation, that is intellectual property crimes in rights in cyberspace are concerned, which is completely not mentioned, is not mentioned in the ITEX are concerned. These cyber offenses are mentioned, but cyber offenses and penalties are there. It is not fully covered. The day by day increasing the techno crimes are concerned. It requires some changes, requires some amendments. Then and then we can mention that we can face and really India is moving fast to a digital world as simultaneously to prevent the cyber crimes are concerned. So in a nutshell, in summary, I mentioned that no doubt it's a very good legislation as a information technology of 2000s are concerned, which Indian government passed in 2000, which is based on your unaccountable model law on e-commerce. And just we have observed in summary point of view, what is the objectives and why this act is enacted. And simply again, I repeat for your kind results are concerned or summary point of view, that this ITAC most important objectives are legal recognition of all electronic data interchange, means electronic transactions. Authentication of electronic record means in the sense that electronic record means if even in the way court also electronic record can be admitted as a electronic evidence, like your audio videos are concerned. So that can be admitted into court as a digital kind of evidence, as a electronic kind of evidence. So authentication of electronic records. Then this idea mostly focus on the process of digital signature, issuance of the digital signatures are concerned, or more authentication of the documents are concerned, which replacing the handwritten signatures are concerned. And if you are put a digital signature, so no one can be denied that it is not a handwritten signature while you make a digital signature because ITACs are there and they give the legal recognitions. So we have seen that the role of the certifying authorities are also concerned. Then controller of the certifying authorities also concerned. These are the authorities are there. Then we also observe, we also discuss about the e-governance mechanisms, where ITEC also given some weightage to the e-governance and take initiatives and give a signals to all countries' governments to try to launch different e-governance mechanisms where all the peoples can get the benefits at their government benefits at their doorsteps and to prevent the maladministrations to maintain the transparency in the systems. So for that purpose, e-governance can be best solutions. And ITEC also mentioned this in the particular chapter that e-governance can be authentic and to be legally permissible under the ITEC 2000s are concerned. As far as the cyber offenses and penalties are concerned, one full chapters are discussed on the cyber offenses and penalties. We will discuss later times about all these issues in details. Today we are just discussing about how the ITACs are focused and which areas are covered by the ITAC 2000s are concerned. So in cyber offenses, one chapters can be mentioned section 65 onwards till section 75. Cyber offenses and penalties are clearly mentioned. So these are the some brief overview of the Information Technology Act 2000 are concerned. So thank you. If you like my video, please like my video and subscribe my channel. In next module, we discuss the further provisions of the Information Technology Act 2000 are concerned. Thank you.